it's Alex from laughingplace.com here today with an unboxing video and toy review. And today we are looking at the Mattel Barbie signature Wrinkle in Time dolls. This is kind of a big deal. First time Disney has done anything with Mattel since their original Disney Princess license ended and they moved everything over to Hasbro. Since then we really haven't seen anything geared at the adult doll collector. So this is kind of a big deal, very exciting. They also are planning to do Nutcracker in the Four Realms later this year. So hopefully if everything goes well, we'll see a lot more Disney products from the Barbie signature line. On the front of each box, it does have that Barbie signature logo. It's also repeated on the top of each of the back of the boxes. So these are really great. Now this is Mrs. Who, Mrs. Whatsit, and Mrs. Which, also known as Mindy Kaling, Reese Witherspoon, and Oprah Winfrey. I got to see the film a couple weeks ago, and my full review will be coming up on laughingplace.com this Wednesday. Until the embargo lifts, I can't really say a lot about it other than I really loved it. I grew up reading the book. I had seen the 2003 film adaptation, and this one, the story is very, very faithful to the book. They didn't really take too many liberties with the story itself. But the visuals are completely out of this world, so different from what you would have read on the page, which is really great. It's updated for 2018. Obviously, the look of the witches, I always envisioned them as older ladies. They went a completely different route. They are gorgeous, and now they are in doll form. Now, again, these are geared towards the adult collector, so these are not cheap dolls. They're about $50 a piece, but they are starting to pop up in stores. The movie comes out March 9th, just about a little over a couple days away. So it's going to be great. We are going to unbox each of these and take a closer look. Before we do that, let's take a look at the back of the boxes, which does have artwork of each of the actresses in their roles in these costumes. The actual copy on each of the boxes is identical for all three, so they aren't really giving you too much information about the characters themselves, other than just letting you know kind of a brief synopsis of the film. The other thing that I really like about the packaging, obviously if you're a super collector, you might not even be taking these out of the boxes. Each of these costumes that the actresses are wearing are from different parts of the film. I don't remember them wearing all three of these dresses together at the same time, and they wore them on different planets. And so the back of each of the boxes gives you the visuals from the planet that they wore these costumes on. What I think would be really cool is if this set sells well and the movie does well enough, maybe they will do further sets with them in their other costumes from the film. So maybe you could collect all of the witches on Uriel, or I think this, I forget, this is Zach Galifianakis' planet, and I think this was Camazot's. So maybe you can get them on all three of those planets with a whole collection with matching backgrounds. That'd be really cool. Mattel, make it happen. Alright, so we're going to pop open the boxes, take a look inside. I'm told they each come with doll stands, so we're excited to see what we've got. Alright, so here they are outside of the box, and I have to say, for all of the amazing details that you can see through the clear plastic, they really look far more spectacular outside of the box. And there's quite a few details that you actually won't notice if you don't open them up and take them out of the box. So if you're planning to collect the series, you might want to let go of the fact that you're kind of breaking the box a little bit. They do go back together quite easily. I was impressed with how easy it was to open them up, take them out, and still close it all back up so you can keep it. And they do contain a certificate of authenticity inside, so I left Oprah's unput back together. That is taped on the back. The doll stands, there's a round base which slides into this compartment which is hidden behind their skirt, and then the stick goes in on this side. They've changed doll stands since I was a kid, which I wasn't quite prepared for. So they no longer just clip into the back of the doll, they now go up the skirt, and they kind of sit in them almost like a weird little seat. You close the legs around them, and then they're pretty secure on their doll stand. Let's take a better look at some of the really great details, and we'll start with Mrs. Who, just because in terms of name, she's the one that comes first. So Mrs. Who, played by Mindy Kaling. Now the beadwork, or not beadwork, but the embroidery on her skirt, which is a very velvety feel, is really cool. And the other great thing is that the texture on the skirt is also really neat. So it's not just kind of a basic pattern, it kind of has this almost cosmic element to it. The bottom of her skirt also has kind of a floral design, and she does have shoes, which are kind of these space-looking silver clogs, which are interesting. I don't think you got to see the shoes in the film. I'm not sure if these are what Mindy Kaling was really wearing, but at least that's what is on the doll. And then in terms of her hair, it is really, really cool. She does have these kind of beaded or braided dreads coming out. They go down the side. They're on both sides, but the ones over here are actually tucked down. Like, I'm guessing if you undid the costume, you might be able to take those out, but they're kind of wedged down there, and just giving them a light tug, not wanting to break her, made it so I couldn't even pull them out. On her skin, these are more articulated than your average Barbie doll, and she does have kind of a henna tattoo design, but it almost looks like digital coding, and so it is kind of very futuristic. And the other really great detail that they've gone into is these are Mrs. Who's glasses. They're a major plot point in the film, and they have this really cool design where they flip open, and so you can do that actually with the doll glasses. They are to scale just for her eyes. The one thing that I was a little bit disappointed in is you can kind of finagle it, and certainly it comes with, when you're in the packaging, comes with a lot of these really tiny rubber bands. You could certainly use one of those if you wanted to try and get it to fix better, but her arm just can't get quite to her face. So you're always going to have it out to about here if you fasten that to her hand and pose it like that. But it is still a really great detail. I'm really glad that they went to that level of trouble to make sure that that was there, because it really does play an important role in the story. Moving over to Mrs. Whatsit, who usually it's who, what's it, and which. On the shirt, it's who, which, and what's it. And this was part of the swag. It has the logo on the side from when I saw the film. Now, her dress is amazing. She's the lightest of the three dolls because these ones all use very heavy fabrics, and hers does not. And I'm going to take her out of her stand because she actually has some troubles sitting in it. And I think it's because she does not have shoes. Like the other dolls too. So bare feet for her character, which actually makes sense for her character, plus makes sense for this moment in the film. And they do have articulated knees, so you can bend those if you wanted to. Now, obviously, her hair is a really interesting design, and these are well done. They're use a lot of gel, so those are there. I don't recommend messing with it too much. On the back side, it is kind of rolled up and tucked into a ponytail. But there are some really great material details on this dress. So her bodice obviously has this kind of shimmery fabric to it. This is a really cool piece of fabric. This dress is obviously very flowy, but this just has a lot of intricate looking designs to it. Again, very cosmic feel, and that is bunched up into kind of a flower pattern up here. And then her skirt, I left, so they've put in a lot of little clips to make it stay together. You could undo those if you want, but I kind of like the way it looks like this, and I'm worried that if I undo it too much, it's never going to go back to looking this good. But on the back, it is all free-flowing, so that is really cool. Now the base underneath is almost a mermaid tail-like fabric. And kind of her whole design here is almost aquatic, despite the fact that it's out in outer space. And then let's look at Mrs. Witch, Oprah Winfrey. A beautiful doll. Just the top costume, it almost looks like tinfoil. It's not at all. It doesn't make any kind of a crinkle sound, but it's amazing that it has that look to it. The bodice is hard plastic, and I'm guessing you could take it off. On the back, it does have kind of an extra fold of this fabric hanging down. I'm sure there's a way to unclip it, but I really don't want to take it apart. Now, the skirt on here, I am kind of blown away by the fabric. Initially, through the boxes, she was not my favorite, but after taking her out, she definitely is. Now, I'm not sure how easily you can see it, but this does have a couple different layers, so it has this really amazing texture to it. You practically can't see this at all in the box, but she has this really awesome train that has another really cool fabric. It's very kind of crinkly, definitely has some tinsel or something like that in there to give it that shimmer. But I was just so surprised that she has a train. Again, didn't notice that in the movie. And another thing you won't notice in the film is that she also has shoes, these big golden things, and they are pretty great. In this scene in the film, they're standing in this weird cave with Zach Galifianakis on these kind of teetering rocks that are kind of orangey red. And I don't remember seeing shoes on her or any of the characters other than the kids who are in like jeans and t-shirts. So that was interesting. So that is the Wrinkle in Time Barbie signature collection. Mrs. Who, Mrs. Whatsit, Mrs. Which, played by Mindy Kaling, Reese Witherspoon, and Oprah. I'm so excited that Mattel is back to making some Disney dolls. I'm really glad that they were able to partner on these. Again, there's a Nutcracker in the Four Realms license that's going to be coming out closer to December when that film hits theaters. Wrinkle in Time comes out on March 9th. I love this film. I think you're going to love it too. Definitely go check it out. And if you want to read my full review with all my critiques and really nailing down into why I loved it so much, be sure to check out laughingplace.com on Wednesday when the embargo lifts. Laughingplace.com is a Disney fan site. We publish Disney news and reviews and just weird articles about how much we love various parts of the company. So be sure to check us out if you're a Disney fan, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're doing a lot of toy reviews, and we cover all things from the Disney parks. So if you want to stay in touch with what's going on in the Disney company, be sure to follow laughingplace.com for written content. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube channel. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.